Good morning, world, and welcome to Ruiru sub-county in Kiambu County in Kenya. This amazing place that sits in the greater Nairobi metropolitan region according to the 2019 census, that is the national census in Kenya. Ruiru is the fourth largest urban center in Kenya by population. In Kikuyu dialect, they say Ruiru means a place with black cotton soil, and indeed it's the black cotton soil as we witness in the photos and images on your screens at the moment as we bring you the national cross-country championships that begin today. But however, we pitch camp here at the Ruiru Prison Staff Training College for the national cross-country championships, which act as the trials for the World Cross-Country Championships, which will be held in Belgrade, Serbia on 30th of this month, and it will be the 45th edition of the World Cross-Country Championship. Welcome aboard, of course. And initially, as a matter of fact, the games were supposed to be held in Croatia, but due to poor preparations and lack of commitment from the Croatian government, they were pushed to Serbia. And now, today, we'll be witnessing a team that will be selected to represent the country, of course, in the World Cross-Country Championships. And of course, we'll be bringing you each and every action right here. So wherever you are, welcome aboard. And it is live here from the Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru, just out in the outskirts of Nairobi. So watch out for today's action, including the under 20-kilometer race, and of course the 6-kilometer junior women race that is just underway. We also look forward to having the 8 kilometers junior men and women race, and of course the 10-kilometer senior men and women. There'll be the 4x2 mixed relay later on, and watch out for great names here, including the likes of Beatrice Chebet. But right now on your screens is the 6 kilometers junior women race that has just begun. And of course, I'm in the company of Steve Ayo, taking you through each and every action right here in Ruiru. Steve, how have you been?
All good, man, and good morning to all our viewers across the country, across the world. Indeed, this is the National Cross Country Championships, the 2020 mentioned. This is in preparation for the World Cross Country Championships that's happening in Serbia later in the year. Very good morning really here. I think the weather is pretty much perfect. It's a bit windy, but the sun is slightly out there. It's a bit cloudy as well. It's really a mixed weather, which sets us up for a great day ahead, really. Remember, this is one, it's really a breeding ground for our future world champions, future Olympic champions. We've seen the likes of Paul Terga. They've made a name from here. Vivian Cheruiyot, Helen Obiri, a few Ethiopians like Kenyan Bekele. These are athletes who have come to make history across the world, winning multiple world championships and multiple Olympic titles. So, it may look like a small event as far as Kenya is concerned, but eventually along the way, this is one of the biggest events really in the world. And it is considered actually one of the toughest races. Some see it as tougher than even the Olympics, tougher than the World Championships, because at least when you go to the World Championships, athletes are divided into 3,000 meters steeplechase, 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters. But here it's all a mix of everyone, really. They bring all the athletes together here. So we expect a lot of competition. It's always been competitive, especially as far as the East African region is concerned. Remember that Kenya and Ethiopia keep dominating these races since inception. So we expect a very competitive race today, given that there's so much more in store for the rest of the year, Greg.
And just looking at the course, very interesting to see a few additions in this course that will be hosting quite a number of events. Of course, underway is the 6 kilometers under 20 women, and we have a rich field of athletes here at the Ruiru Prison Staff Training College, where we have the likes of Sheila Chepngeno, Lina Chebet, Lucy, Regina all representing the central region, but also the focus is on the Nairobi region with the likes of Miriam Chepkirui, Monica Nyateti, Naomi Chemtai, Fancy Chepkorir, Isika Chelangat. Also from NorthRift, we have the likes of Alice Jemutai, Domilia Jeruto, Dorothy Jerop, Martha Chepkorir, Vivian Chepkus. From Southern, we'll have the likes of Deborah Jemutai, Diana Chepkemoi, Judy Kemunto, and of course Catherine Mutinda, just to name but a few. And then we'll be looking at Western region, where we have Nancy Charop, Dorcas Chepkemoi, Janet Chepkoech of Western region, and of course from Central Rift region we'll have the likes of Sheila Chebet. So close to 85 juniors trying out in the 6 kilometers under 20 women. So welcome aboard as we see, watch and witness these athletes try out. Of course, being the early days of the season, many of these athletes use this as a pre-season, gearing up for the many events that will be coming up later on in the year, including the Paris 2024 Olympics that come sometime in August. Also, we have the All Africa Games that will begin in just a few weeks' time, as we see the athletes completing the first lap of this 6 kilometer race. Still close call there, looking at this one, 2 laps to go in this one, and it is the 6 kilometers juniors, and you can see it's a pack full of athletes, nothing to separate them, and that tells you the competitiveness that is in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there's a lot of competition. The athletes are packed up together. Really, there's not so much distance between. Really, you can't say who's really on the top. They're all pretty much running in parallel, at least the first 2-3 top athletes. And with just 2 kilometers to go, really, this is where you can establish your lead. It's a very tough course. Remember that there's a very muddy area as well, so you need a lot of endurance on the race. So it's not just about speed; it's about just how you can keep it all together. Back 200-300 meters behind. So that just tells you that it's not really a competition for everyone, but this is where you really get to test yourself with some of the best athletes in the country, some of the best athletes who go on, and win world championships and win Olympic titles. So, just one more lap to go when they come back to the starting lane. And remember that we have a lot of other races. We have the senior men's and the senior women's race also coming up later in the day. So keep yourself tuned. Keep yourself tuned. We will be sharing with you the list as well in terms of who is in the competition, and as we look into the rest of the day, Greg, I do believe that it's going to be ever so competitive.
You just said it, ever so competitive, but you can see it's now getting hotter and hotter as they head into the last 2 laps of this 6 kilometers under 20 women race that kicks off the day here at the Kenya Prisons Training Staff. Prison Staff Training College here in Ruiru, and of course it's the National Cross Country Championships come the trials for the World Cross Country Championships to be held on the 30th in Belgrade in Serbia. So if you're joining us, of course there's plenty of action lined up today from the AM to the PM, and we'll be bringing you each and every bit of action, telling you every juicy stories that will be coming out of this place. So if you're joining us, this is the National Cross Country Championships 2024. Remember, previously they could have been held earlier on, but then the failure of Croatia to comply, rather get ready for to host the event made it hard for the World Athletics Championships to do something, and of course what they did is postpone the event to 30th, and it will be held in the Serbia. And this gives an opportunity for some of these athletes, maybe those who hadn't really prepared well, to try and see if they can actually get the timings and represent the country. Remember, we've dominated these races for quite a while, winning the overall title, winning the women title. Remember, Beatrice Chebet storming to victory in Bathurst, Australia last year, that is 2023, showing a prowess over the distance, and we'll be looking forward to see what she's able to do here. And if it's possible, we'll get a few interviews from Charity Wanja, who's also on the finish line. She'll be telling us everything that we need to know. But on your screens at the moment is the 6 kilometers under 20 women. And of course, if you're joining us, just to take you through some of the results from the World Championships last year, the World Cross Country Championships that were held in Bathurst, Australia. Not really. We'll be giving you those results, but just a recap of what happened last year here in Ruiru. I remember it was a very, 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 very chilly morning on the day that we also witnessed a tree planting session by the government of Kenya, led by the CS Sports Honorable Babu Namwamba. So in last year's national championships, Ruth Chepngetich, the home girl from Kenya Prisons, tore the field apart to win the 10 kilometers women race, and she also led her team into claiming the relay title, and that made sure that everyone here at the Prison Staff Training College stood on their feet and witnessed a very good spectacle. So we'll be waiting to see if the home team that knows this track very, very well will be able to replicate what Ruth Chepngetich did last year. Remember, Chepngetich is a 2019 World Marathon champion. So in the senior men's race last year, Charles Lockyer, quite unknown, made the headlines by claiming the title ahead of Isaac Kibet and Dennis Kipngetich. And the under-20 race was won by Mercy Sang, followed by two Miriams, that is Miriam Chepkirui and Miriam Chemtai. And of course, the under-20 men race was won by Samuel Kibathi, Japan-based, and Simeon Maina and Shadrach Rono. In the junior men, of course, we had Ishmael Kirui winning, Reynold Cheriot coming in second at Borki, and Reynold Cheriot, of course. Those are some of the results that we had from last year, and that tells you that this year we promise to see something spectacular as the athletes come into the last lap of this 6 kilometers under 20 women. And you can see now it's been separated to 7, and NorthRift in the lead. NorthRift, 3 athletes in the leading pack, and it's NorthRift in the lead, and of course Western coming close by. So it's a battle between Western, NorthRift, and of course NorthRift. And this is quite interesting. You can see the pace increasing, and you can see these athletes are trying really hard to ensure that they keep up with. And it's something that's really interesting. Nothing much to separate, but NorthRift having 3 athletes in the lead, Steve.
Yeah, that just shows you how competitive really the NorthRift are as far as athletics are concerned. There are only 5 athletes really at the top as you go into the finishing beats really of this race. As I am trying to look at it, this is bib number 461, 345 and 348. 561 here happens to be sorry, I can't just see that, but there's 348 here. This is from NorthRift, Mercy Chepkemoi and Sharon Chepkemoi as well. So the 2 Chepkemois really are chasing for the title here. It's really getting close as we edge closer to the finish line. And like Greg has said, really, it looks like the title is going to NorthRift, and it's a very competitive field here with Joylyn Jepkemoi from Central Rift among the competitors here. She was 4th really at the World Championships last year, if I remember well. Gregory, I don't know whether you want to take us through the final bits of this race.
Of course, we'll be waiting to see who reigns supreme between NorthRift, NorthRift with 3 athletes in the front, Western also coming in through, and of course, we have an athlete from Nairobi region also there. I'm talking about Chepkirui. But then let's wait and see as we head into the last lap of these 6 kilometers under 20 women. Remember, we are underway here at the Kenya Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru. And this is the first race of the day, the 6 kilometers under 20 women. And you can see them, of course, some tired legs out there, because those who had prepared well for these ones will, of course, be challenging for the top corners. And quite some excitement here, because you look at the turnout has been great, especially these early hours of the morning. It's like 9:15 a.m. here in Nairobi, and this is the 6 kilometers under 20 women race that is underway. And of course, after this, we'll be heading over to the finish line, and we'll be seeing what's going to transpire there. Just passing by is an athlete from Southern, trying really hard to catch up with the rest. I can tell you there are so many tired legs out there, being a morning with the dew and the mud, and of course the course with having some tricky barriers. Of course, there is a hill. There's some tires that will help them, of course, jump through, and of course, quite some improvement from last season's. Last year's, I can call it last year's course that had a puddle of water. Then there was a hill, and then there was some hay. And of course, this year they've added some tires to make sure that it's better, and of course, up to the standards of the world athletics. And something interesting that comes out is that this is a bronze event. It means that we can also have athletes from other countries coming to compete in the national championships.
Definitely. And if I was an athlete, especially from neighboring countries really, and these competition is open for registration, I would definitely want to come here, because we know it's really, as far as athletics is concerned, and this is where you get really the very best as far as this happens really. So if I was from neighboring countries and I want to really test myself against the world's best, then this is some place that I will come to. Definitely altitude, weather of even this place really, I think it really prepares you for conquering the world out there. And not just really from neighboring countries. If you have the resources really to travel from across the world, then I would definitely come here, because this is really a breeding ground for future Olympiads, future world champions. As we see, I think the pace has just gone down a bit now. The athletes injected some pace, I think, with some 2 more laps to go. But now you can see that it's a bit more controlled right now, and you can see also on the sides the people you are seeing there, they just from race control, and also some of the coaches in there just to try and push the athletes. And this is where now it becomes a bit more tactical. This is where now you have to really step up the game. As we hear the Northeastern and the SouthRift, really, it's really a battle between SouthRift and Northeastern, really, which is a bit strange. Northeastern, we don't get to hear a lot of athletes from that area, Mlemi.
It is. It's NorthRift. Actually, Northeastern barely make it to these stages, and you can see it is shaping up into a 3-person race. And SouthRift, of course, they had 3 in the leading pack, and of course, right now we are seeing it's getting hotter. Right now, it is SouthRift in the lead, and we'll be trying to see what's happening down there. Heading into the home stretch, it's Central Rift coming to take this home, and it is SouthRift in second place, and of course NorthRift in third. And that signals the end as she goes to cross over to claim the 6 kilometers under 20 women. It is Central Rift and of course Western coming in second and third. It's SouthRift, and that's been amazing. And you can see, I told you, when we shift gears, then it becomes really, really hard to see the difference between these athletes, because NorthRift were leading towards the last kilometer, but then it was Central Rift and of course Western who came in second and third. That shows you that it was going to be very, very close, but that signals the end of the 6 kilometers under 20 women, and of course we'll be waiting to see and hear what Charity has to say. About the race, and of course interview the winner of this 6 kilometers under 20 women race. So Charity, if you can hear me from the other side.
Yeah, very, very, very competitive race. Though you could see that with the last 500 meters to go, it was really a battle between two athletes. And if I'm not wrong, it has been won by